Welcome back. Well, with us once again is Sean O'Connell. He is with Progressive Power Group. Good to see you, Sean.
Hey, Ken. Good morning.
Welcome back. And coming up, there is going to be a solar workshop. It's going to be taking place not far from here. It may seem far, but it's not. It's the other side of Home Depot, technically. It's Aliso Viejo over in the community center over there, right? Kind of by the golf course in that area.
Yeah, where they have the weddings in the Wedgwood Center.
Yeah.
In Santa Barbara.
So it's really not that far at all.
If nothing else, it's a nice setting. And
it's a very nice
you
setting.
get some free coffee and some donuts and cookies.
All right, very good. And this is going to take place February 2nd. But let's talk about, in general, the systems, the type of systems that you folks can install. And, you know, people often have a lot of different questions. I think one of the biggest ones, and I know you're going to talk about this, is what's called net metering and all. And people have heard that it could be changed, it could be going away. Tell us about that, how that works.
Certainly. One of the great reasons that solar has taken off so much is due to net metering. Mm-hmm. So I don't think a lot of people understand that in most situations, the solar system that's sitting on your house only consumes about 25% of that electricity. Mm-hmm. The other 75% goes through your meter and back onto the grid,
right.
And it gets used up by other houses right next to you that aren't solar yet. So your meter then, keeps track of all of that, and then every month on your bill, if you've overproduced relative to what you used, you get a credit for that. And it's at the same price that you're paying the utility company.
Okay.
So that's great, and that's version 1 that we're under now.
Okay.
So in essence, you can all but eliminate, your electric bill with no extra charges, very few charges in version 1. In version 2, the utility company is going to take a 2-cent per kilowatt hour credit against what you're putting back on the grid.
Okay.
So they've got a little bit of a spread there. And then there's also something called non-bypassable charges, which you won't be able to eliminate from your bill with your credits from your solar production.
Okay.
So it's about an 8% difference is kind of what we're seeing.
8% when this current version goes away. That's
correct, when we go to 2.0.
Okay. And that is, I know originally it was going to be this month, but it got pushed back, am I right?
They've got, there's a drop dead time of July 1, so
okay.
Anybody that's not, hasn't been turned on by that date automatically goes to version 2.0.
Okay.
And then there's also the amount of the market that was allowed to go solar before it switched over to 2.0 was 5%, is what they call the market cap. Mm-hmm. So we're right up against both of those time frames right now.
All right, and that's why, from what I understand, it was extended because that market cap was not reached yet, am I right?
Correct.
Yeah.
So people need to jump on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So let's talk about a couple things here, and you sent me along a couple different examples. We'll go over kind of example 1 because I think it would fit this community a little bit better as far as how much usage there is.
Correct, and from the data that we've seen, you have a wide variety of homes in here and different usage.
Right.
So that first example should be like the average usage for one of the smaller multifamily units. And the example that I'm using is our top tier product. Mm-hmm. It's a SunPower panel. And because of limited space on a lot of the multifamily, that's why I use this example.
Okay.
Because it's the largest per watt panel that's available in the residential market, and it has an integrated microinverter that is also a SunPower product, which is unique to the industry.
Okay.
So what's nice is you're getting the warranty on the panel and the microinverter run concurrently for 25 years from the same company.
Okay.
So that's nice.
And in the example that you gave me here, you gave me some economics behind it, the initial system costs, and we want to say that you folks, am I right, you don't lease?
Well, we do.
Oh, you do? There is that option as well. Okay.
But in this community, I believe from the CC&Rs, they want you to own it.
Okay.
So we can do a loan.
That's
so we have that option for folks that don't want to put forth all their cash.
Okay, so that's good to know. And I know we've talked about this in the community as well about that. So the initial cost, and then there's a tax credit involved. And when it comes to a tax credit, someone needs to talk to their tax person about that, their accountant.
You know,
I
we always
right?
advise that.
Yeah.
Because you want to make sure that you're getting every dime of that tax credit. Because there is a difference, you know, in the way things go on your tax form. So you'll want to look at, you know, how much money are you going to pay Uncle Sam? You know, instead of writing him a check, you're able to use that tax credit to offset any liability that you would have.
Okay.
So folks definitely want to plan and talk to their CPA. Say, hey, we're getting a solar system. I'm going to have this amount of tax credit. You know, help me maximize that. The nice thing is you do not have to take the tax credit in 1 year. You're allowed to roll it over into subsequent tax years.
Okay. So which you gave me here, and I know that these are all estimates. System costs about $13,500, but that
Before rebates, yes.
before rebates,
Before the credit, yes.
and then the credit and all. And so, you know, you could bring that down to about $9,500 or so after the credit. Now, when I'm going down here, it says the first year savings for, you know, obviously this is an average, is about $1,117 or so.
Correct. And that's based upon somebody that has $113 a month, $114 a month
Right.
average bill. So that's pretty significant.
Yes.
And you know, when you look at a lot of investment products that are available right now, and you know what 401ks are making and whatnot, that's a really excellent return on your investment, especially if
Right.
you're foregoing paying all these taxes. And then you've locked in a price for a commodity for over 20 years. You know, so that's like locking in a gallon of milk for 70 cents or 60 cents a gallon for 20 years.
Right.
Or locking in the cost of gasoline at 70 cents a gallon for 20 years or longer.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's really one of the rare opportunities that we have as consumers to lock in a cost that we know is going up every year at a fixed rate for extended amount of time.
So as far as, you know, this system is concerned, you get your normal bill every month, or I remember last time you were on that you talked about there's like a yearly final bill where you get credit or whatever it may be, but you'll still get something every month from SCE
Correct.
if you want that's going to say, here's where you're at, so you know.
Correct.
Right.
You won't be surprised.
Right.
And then with all the systems, we provide monitoring. So the customer can pull up anywhere that they have access to the internet and see in real time what their solar system's doing. So they can make sure that it's operating correctly, and then you
Right.
can get all the historical data to see, yeah, it's making what it's supposed to make every month.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we show the customer, you know, here's what your system should do for the entire year broken down by month. So if it falls below this threshold, you know, call us up, and you know, we're the people that installed it, so we're also the people that service it. And most of the time it's just an internet glitch, you know, that
Okay.
the data's not reporting correctly. But if it isn't and we have to send a service tech over, we come out right away.
Okay.
And the nice thing about, you know, the products that we use is we get replacement product should there be a warranty issue immediately.
Okay.
So
And what's the warranty on this?
25 years.
Oh, wow, okay. And as far as you folks coming out on a maintenance system, is it like, I'm not saying if there's anything wrong, but just general maintenance, how often should you come out? Once or twice a year? Or how does that work?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
The manufacturers tell us if we get 3 good rains per year, that's enough to keep the dust and whatnot off the panels so
Okay.
it stays at premium production. And then once again, you have access to monitoring. So you see, hey, if it's dropped down, then
Right.
maybe a tree branch has fallen on it, or
Right.
you know, there's some sort of wiring issue that may have happened.
Okay.
And then once again, we come out, diagnose it, and then take care of business and make sure
Okay.
it's up and running.
And you've done work in the community, right?
Yeah, we just finished a 2 megawatt installation throughout the community.
Right.
So that's a ton of electricity.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, a
So-
lot of panels, right?
That's definitely it. So.
Yeah. Hey, in general, the panels nowadays, are they much thinner than what they used to be, or are they kind of, you know, compared to like 10 years ago and that sort of thing?
You know, they're about the same dimension.
Okay.
And when you actually look at what a solar cell looks like, it's paper thin.
Right.
And then they're encased in all the glass and the aluminum to protect those things from moving around and from the elements. but there's systems that we're aware of that are in remote locations that were installed in the 70s using old technology,
Yeah.
like 50 and 60 watt panels, and they're still working.
Wow.
So this technology, as we see more and more systems deployed and we're getting the data back from them, solar is pretty much infallible. And
Right. Well, there's
this-
no moving parts really, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
I mean, not that we can see, but yeah, there's
Right.
no mechanical things going
Right.
on per se. So the failure rate is almost not measurable.
Right.
And then we're still at such the infancy of the market space that the players that are in right now, the manufacturers, are, they're probably going to be here for the long haul.
Right.
And it's very important to them that the feedback that the marketplace gives them is positive.
Right,
So that more and more
exactly.
people are like, okay, this stuff, it's just sitting there. How does it actually work? We've got tons and tons, hundreds of thousands of testimonials of customers that will say, yeah, this stuff
Exactly.
works.
Well, I want to remind people again that this workshop is coming up on February 2nd. That is Thursday from 3:15 to 4:30. And this is taking place in Aliso Viejo on Wedgwood Drive. And as I said, if you kind of know where the golf course is behind Home Depot, it's over in that area. Am I right? It's sort of the community
Yeah, and
center there.
it's real casual. We've got one of the smaller rooms set up, so
Okay.
you can keep it kind of intimate and be able to get some good information back and forth. And it's just a good time to, come out and get your questions answered and, get to meet us.
Exactly. Oh, I want to give, you want to RSVP?
Yes.
Just so they know. There it is. The phone number is 714-899-2300 extension 214. Or you can email Sean at sean@propowergroup.com. Good to see you.
Ken, thank you.
Take care. We'll be right back.